Okay, today I'm going to have a look at these solder suckers. These Soldapullt I don't know, model DS017LS, I think that's the same one. Yep, this is my old one, and I was actually trying to clean the tip out by pushing the handle in and poking the solder out of it, and I broke this bit on the end here. If you keep pushing on these, you can push the tip out. This blue colour one's a replacement tip, so often that's the only thing you need to replace on them. I think this is possibly my third one of these I bought. The first one I made a mistake and actually thinking it's just plastic. I stuck it under a TV chassis to hold it up off the metalwork in the TV while I turned it on, and it ended up like a flute with a heap of holes burned in it because it is conductive plastic, so because it's anti-static. And when you got the high voltage sort of in a TV, probably a few hundred volts or something, might have been higher than that, but it burned a heap of holes in the side of it. Luckily it didn't damage the TV, but that was the end of that first one. And I get a feeling I've had another one break in the same spot there. This one does still sort of work. I was managing to use it until the new one turned up by pushing down and then letting it go. For some reason it's jammed at the moment, and it would still actually work, believe it or not. And these also come apart here, so they are quite serviceable in a way, but generally it's only really for cleaning. Normally you just have to pop this tip off, it'll block up in there, or when you hit the button to suck solder, it'll also have little bits of solder fall out of it. But they do get to the point and where they block this bit up, and it was like that, and I basically turned the tip around and tried to poke this bit down and push the bit out the end here, the metal bit, just to push it out backwards. And somehow when I did that it broke, but maybe it was just, I mean, this would be, I don't know when I bought this, but it would probably be at least 24 years old, I would think. I'm pretty sure it was possibly in the 90s or very early in the 2000s. So it's had a pretty good run. This used to get a real hammering. One of the most constant tools you use. So it even tells you what the replaceable tip number is there. Low static deluxe desoldering tool, covered by US and foreign patents and patent pending. But this one, pretty much I'll just keep the tip of it as a spare just in case I'll get desperate one day, and I think we'll just chuck the rest of that away. But the other thing you did need to clean in this that was why you pull this bit off, is this piece here collects a bit of solder, and you just get a screwdriver and sort of break that off. And was there anything you ever had to lube on these or anything? I don't really think there was. There is a O-ring there. They probably wear down over time, so it doesn't hurt to buy a new one occasionally anyway, because this new one should be a lot nicer to use. Edsin ink. The power of precision. Features powerful vacuum, strong lightweight construction, available in low static models. Soldapullt is the world's most copied desoldering tool. To receive a free catalogue, send your request via email, internet, phone. 15958 Minter Street, Van Nuys, don't know, CA, is that California, 9140, made in USA, covered by US and foreign patents. Loading knob, shaft guide, return spring, trigger, main spring, O-rings, and some bits and pieces on the different types of tips you can get as replacement. To load, push loading knob down until it clicks. Push loading knob all the way down until the tip pops out. But they are pretty good, these things. I mean, the early desoldering, oh, it actually has a tear off bit, that's nice. Early desoldering stations were not very good. I'm sort of talking back in the early 90s and stuff, so I never bothered getting one. Looked like more trouble than they're worth half the time. Ah, it's nice to have one that has a trigger that works again. But they do pull pretty well, so that's one way of testing it, is put your finger over the tip and it shouldn't fully return, it's slowly going. That way you know the O-ring and everything's good. But I do have this electric fence unit here that I want to desolder this SCR or Triac, I guess it is. I always think they're SCR, but they're more for DC than triacs, which are for AC, and this is running off 240 volts AC and switching a transformer on and off. No, might help if I press it. But they do a brilliant job of, and you can do 2 pins of an IC at a time with these, so they are quite quick. And yeah, very low maintenance. That's the thing I don't like about desolder stations, or at least the early ones. You had a bit of work to clean them and stuff, and they didn't actually work that well. So I tried a couple of that didn't belong to me, of course, and wasn't overly impressed. I think they've come a long way since then. I probably should really think about getting one, but I'm not doing it that often these days that I really need to care. So it's facing away from the MOV. But that's these tools. This has got the original black. Oh, doesn't want to. That's interesting. Am I in the wrong mode? That should. Yeah, that one doesn't seem to want to push the tip out, which is strange. It did say to do that the same old way. I'm worried I'm going to break this one now. Oh god, that should push the tip right out, but it sort of moved a little bit. Yeah, that's a bit odd. It's starting to come, but not really popping off like it should. Because you need to be able to get into these to clean them. Oh well, that's not a good start. Tip replacement, push loading knob all the way down until tip pops out, which you can see I could do on the old one. That just comes out and doesn't actually push it. And I don't want to break the thing. Not sure how else I can get that out of there. Well, I don't really want to make a mess of a brand new one, but I do need to know how to get the tip out. I've got a feeling one of my old ones had plier marks on it where I'd... there it goes. Where I try to remove it, so it's already building up a bit of a layer of solder in there on that top bit. Is this one just looser? Yeah, that pops out alright, so maybe it is just that they need to loosen off. Yeah, they're basically the same length, it should come off. It does not want to. God. Maybe you just got to wait until it fills up with enough solder, and then it probably will come off, because it'll be blocked up, and that's usually when you first really bother to clean one out, is when it eventually jams, because the solder blocks the hole. But it does come off. Doesn't look quite so pretty now, but it doesn't matter, it's only a solder sucker. So yeah, they're about $50 now, including GST and everything, if you buy them sort of retail. But very handy tool to have. You've got to have some sort of solder sucker, and these tend to be, once you get used to them, you can do them pretty fast. And yeah, I can change a sort of 40 pin chip pretty quick with one of these. But anyway, those. We'll see how the thing goes, and hopefully it lasts as long as the last one. Probably around 10 years use maybe, but that's, you know, on a daily basis. That's a lot of solder joints you're doing. So it's pretty good. Would have done probably well over 100,000 solder joints in that sort of time, given how many you do a week, sort of thing. If you're doing a few TVs and monitors and that sort of thing, and even some parts in other stuff, even videos, occasionally you'd be unsoldering parts and stuff. So yeah, they're probably good for a couple 100,000 uses or something. So yeah, like I say, I don't know quite why that broke, but I get a feeling the one I had before that, for some reason, it eventually broke that piece off, because I can't remember anything else failing in it. You can get a new tip, but I don't think you can get the upper body part or the main barrel. But anyway, thanks for watching.